Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday. I want to welcome quiet coyotes, maybe for the teachers in the room. I don't know. I want to welcome everyone to the Monday, December 16, 2024, 6 p.m. meeting. Before we start, I would like to take a moment of silence in honor of the memory of Councilwoman Virginia Williams. Thank you. Madam Secretary, can you call to order, please?
Meeting is called to order at 6:03. Davis,
Here.
McCarthy,
Present.
Evans,
Present.
Lester is present, Laster,
Present.
Kennard,
Tardy? Okay, here in a minute.
Piles,
Has anyone heard anything? I haven't.
we have a quorum.
All right. Can we stand for the pledge? Acceptance of the agenda. Be it resolved that the Board of Education accepts the December 16, 2024 meeting agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been motioned by Laster, supported by Davis. Roll call.
Laster,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
McCarthy,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Lester is yes, motion passes.
Thank you. We are now at public comment.
I don't have any.
No public comment? Be it, oh, you want to read the consent agenda? Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the December 16, 2024 consent agenda as presented. Matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine in nature by the Board of Education and will be acted upon in one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items. If any member of the board or any citizen requests discussion of an item, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will become the first item of business under the report of the superintendent portion of the agenda. A, approval of the personnel actions as submitted by Human Resources Director Kevin Brock. Employment of Alicia Stumbo, Special Education Paraprofessional WIC. Andrew Jeller Ramino, I apologize, custodian. John Henry, custodian. Tequila Smith, Special Education Social Worker, RMS. Rashad Glenn, Special Education Paraprofessional, RMS. Amanda Wilson, 4th, 5th grade teacher, WIC. James Burley, custodian. Oradola Metanuovo, custodian. Bailey Martin Brown, 4th grade teacher, Romulus Elementary. Jervon Tucker, social worker, RHS. And that completes the consent agenda.
Support.
It's been motioned by Laster, supported by Wester.
Laster,
Yes.
Lester is yes, Evans,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
McCarthy,
Yes.
Kennard,
Yes.
and Piles.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you. We are now at the report of the superintendent, Dr. Benjamin Edmondson.
Don't have much to say except that I was at the middle school, and you all should feel very good about this as a board, that we have a middle school swim team. I was just there at the, I don't know if they call them districts. I don't know what they call them, but I think it was districts. I was able to stay for one meet, and it was the relay. And when we started, it was the backstroke, and we ended up in like 4th place at the backstroke, but by the time he passed the so-called baton, though there's not one, we caught up in the breaststroke and then took the lead and never gave it back. So our students won that relay. It was amazing. When you have a great coach who has the passion, those of you that know Miss Vicky knows, that's all she talks about is swimming. That's it. You get her, she talks about swimming. But our swim program is in a good place. I was so excited to see that and talk to the kids. It's in a good place. So then I'm leaving, and I said, well, let me stop by the next room. The next room was esports. I walked into esports, and I'm like, wow. So we had, at that point, there were probably about 10 students that were in esports, but all engaged, and they're getting ready for January when they actually start the real competition. So they're playing video games and engaged, and that was just, to me, just another thing that we continue to do. We're just doing different programming. It doesn't impact every kid. Every kid's not interested in swimming or esports, but we have kids that are interested in swimming and esports. And then in my cabinet meeting today, we were very excited because you'll be hearing about our drone program that's coming next. That'll be after school. But again, it's important to offer, we all know that, if you don't offer anything after school, people aren't even interested in your district. Parents are not interested. They'll go somewhere else. So it's just nice to report today that we are headed in the right direction. Are we there yet? No, we're not there yet. But we have a lot of new programming that's going on, and I encourage you to come. For the board, we now have, if Eve can confirm, we have a district calendar. I think we've tightened that up a little bit so that we don't have different things happening at the same time, preferably.
Yeah, you need to send it out. No, a few weeks ago. Oh, send it out.
But just check it out. If you can show up, great. If you can't, that's fine. But, we'll be, we just definitely don't want all of our programming to happen at the same time. I was not able to make it to the program at the middle school today. I had to get a dental cleaning of his time. And I forgot what the name of the program, Yellow, was somebody there? Did anybody know? There's a new program that they're doing at the high school for kids that are doing well of some sort. I'll get it to you, though, but that was this morning. I totally just couldn't make it there. So just good things are happening. That's all I wanted to say. Golden ticket. I thought it was yellow. Golden ticket. Golden ticket. I'll share more about it once I find the email. I'll give you more information toward it. Thank you, Ms. Reese.
All right.
That's it.
Well,
Concluding.
Dr. Willy Wonka has an action item. Can someone read it?
Yes, Madam President
Thank
and
you.
Board.
Thank you. You said who's that?
The
So did I.
golden ticket, Willy Wonka.
Oh.
Anyways.
Oh, okay.
All right, okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank
President,
you.
please stay in school.
Madam President and Board, there's an action item A. And the recommended motion is move that the Board of Education approve the Romulus Middle School and Romulus High School band field trip to Chicago. The field trip will provide our band students with the opportunity to visit many,
Yeah, Mackinac, sorry.
oh, Mackinac?
Mackinac Island.
Okay, so which? Did I go, or did I go?
Right after this sheet.
This after?
No, right here.
All righty, let's retract that. We're under the recommended motion for the Romulus Middle School 7th and 8th grade field trip to Mackinac Island. Move that the Board of Education approve the Romulus Middle School 7th and 8th grade field trip to Mackinac Island at St. Ignace, Michigan, May 29th to 31st, 2025, as presented. The rationale, the field trip will provide students with opportunities to apply what they have learned in the classroom to real-world situations. This will also help students see connections between what they're learning and the world around them. Mackinac Island is a beautiful Michigan attraction, and we are excited to give our Romulus Middle School students this opportunity to experience it. The budget implications are individually paid for by students, and the exhibits are in our board packet, field trip request form.
Support.
It's been motioned by Kennard, supported by Evans. Any discussion?
I have one question.
Can you go? Sure, you can go.
No,
You two are going, right?
I have one question. On here, I see the total cost for the trip, but then it has another cost of $16,000 for transportation. Is that part of the trip cost? I don't think it's an additional cost, but it's on the form.
Yeah, there definitely would not be an additional. It
Right,
definitely
right.
would not be.
So that should just be ignored.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you. Before you run through this, I do need you to know that, in today's society, we do have transgender students, and that's always an issue when something like this, people always want to know, what are you going to do? But what a school does is they contact their attorneys to discuss that. We did that, and we do that when there's an issue for such. So just, they're sending me something that, there's like 7 questions that you should ask. So once I get that, I thought I was going to get it today, but if I get it tomorrow, I will shoot it to you as the board because you have to engage in those questions, but you don't do things that are going to be illegal or against the law. So we can't do that. But there's usually a conversation about where to stay. And generally speaking, the parents say, we'd rather stay in our own room, and usually, almost always, you accommodate that. But I just want to make sure that you all feel very comfortable knowing that if that presents itself, we will absolutely go to our legal team, and there's questions that you ask, and we'll work with our parents and our parents and the parents about that, so,
All right, thank you.
yes.
Kennard,
Yes.
Piles,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
McCarthy,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Laster,
Yes.
Westers, yes, motion is approved.
Thank you.
Madam President, move that the Board of Education approve the Romulus Middle School and Romulus High School band field trip to Chicago. Rationale, this field trip will provide our band students with an opportunity to visit many great Chicago attractions, such as Millennium Park, the Shed Aquarium, and the Hancock Buildings Observatory. Our students will also have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to attend clinics with a band/orchestra clinician from the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Budget implications, individually paid for by students, exhibits, field trip request form.
Support.
It's been motioned by Davis, supported by Kennard. Any discussion? Roll call.
Davis,
Yes.
Kennard,
Yes.
Piles,
Yes.
McCarthy,
Yes.
Westers, yes, Evans,
Yes.
Laster,
Yes.
motion is approved.
All right.
You're welcome. Okay.
All right, we are at the report of the Director of Human Resources, Kevin Brock, and he has an action item.
Madam President and Board, there's an action item A, which is for the approval of Kayla Henderson as Administrative Assistant to TLP. Recommended motion is moved that the Board of Education approve Kayla Henderson as the Administrative Assistant to TLP for the 24-25 school year. The rationale is the central office serves as the operational hub for the district, coordinating essential functions such as finance, human resources, and curriculum. Hiring a central office administrative assistant to the director of TLP will enhance efficiency, improve support to key stakeholders, and ensure the district operates effectively in this department. The budget rationales is 11226-1620-000-000. The exhibits is in the board package. The employee salary compensating rate would be $45,000.
Support.
It's been motioned by Kennard, supported by Wester. Any discussion? Roll call.
Kennard,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Piles,
Yes.
Westers, yes, Evans,
Yes.
McCarthy,
Yes.
Laster,
Yes.
motion is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's
Action
Kayla
item
right
B.
there. Kayla, please. That's Kayla there.
Kayla? Oh, that's her? Oh, nice to meet you. Okay. Thank you. All right. Madam President and Board, we have an action item B for Athletic Director. Okay, it says the personnel recommendation, move that the Board of Education approve Jashia Obi as the District Athletic Director for 24-25 school year. The athletic program is a vital component of the district's educational and extracurricular offerings, promoting student development, student spirit, and community engagement. Hiring a dedicated athletic director, which should be his AD, will ensure the program is managed efficiently, effectively, and equitably, enhancing its impact on students and the Romulus community. The budget implications is 11293-1170, 013-000-0000, with a base budget of $90,000. Exhibits is in the board packet. It's
Support.
attached.
It's been motioned by Kennard, supported by McCarthy. Any discussion?
Yes, Madam President. Earlier today, I had asked for the job description, which said in the contract that it was attached with the job duties. I have not received that, but I would like to receive that so the board knows what our goals are for the athletic department as a district. Also, In the past, this job is currently listed as a RAZA position in their contract, and I'm wondering why this is not part of the RAZA contract rather than an individual contract.
The question was asked, I know you apologized for same day. I did respond an hour ago, so it is sent back to all board members, but Kevin can go ahead and answer. But I did make sure your questions were answered prior to the
Didn't see it.
meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good evening, Board.
Good evening.
The position that is currently in the RAZA contract is high school assistant principal / athletic director. Those are two separate entities, so an athletic director just oversees athletics. There's no teacher evaluations, there's no student discipline, sole discipline for students. They'll be advising on student discipline if they need to, specifically with athletes, but the position that's in the RAZA contract is a mixture of both. So that's the
I
difference.
understand that, but shouldn't the board have been made aware that this position is now a standalone position, and we need to remove that position from the RAZA contract?
It doesn't need to be removed from the contract because it doesn't exist in the contract.
An athletic director position does exist in the contract. It might share another position, but it is still worded as athletic director in the contract.
I'm fairly certain that we brought this before the board a while back when we were putting the position.
To change the contract?
Not to change the contract, but to have a sole athletic director position, and it was discussed at that time the differences between the position. And the board, I believe the board authorized the position moving forward. We had this very same discussion when we did that.
I don't recall that.
The athletic director position was a standalone position in RAZA until 2020, 2021, when, to condense, we had a lot of administrators at the high school. And so the reasoning was that, or the reason presented to the board was that we would no longer have a standalone AD, but we would have an AD/AP, and no longer have standalone CTE, but CTE/AP. So, as a standalone position, the athletic director's always been in RAZA.
It was a standalone position at one point. If you remember, there was somebody that used to be here when I came into this district, again, my second time. It was a standalone position, and that person, I don't want to talk about his or her, what happened, but they were not in RAZA when that happened. So again, when I came in, it was a standalone position. It wasn't prior to that. It was an AD/AP, and then last year we tried to get an AD/AP again. Didn't do that. We didn't do it. So it's still an AD position that's a standalone because it was before, and that's why we didn't have to go through RAZA to do what we needed to do at that point. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know. Yes, I do. And it's interesting that the RAZA contract was just renewed past summer, right? Summer before. This is the second year in it, and if it weren't going to be part of the RAZA, then it should have been negotiated out of RAZA. I'm just making an observation, that's all.
Any other discussion? Oh,
So, Madam President, how is this affecting the voting here on the motion here? I mean, what are we saying here? Should it be a part of it, or should it not be?
well, I was gonna say, and I mean, the last person that held the position officially, it wasn't a part of the contract, so I guess that's what they're stating is we're moving forward with the consistency of how it was done with Mr. Keskies.
Okay. I just want that clarified.
Transparency, Mr.
Clarified for the-
Keskies was the
Transparency,
last,
right, I
the
agree.
last
No, I
AD,
agree.
so we're not about to sit here and play.
Yeah,
Was,
we just-
right, and was that even a legitimate?
Right, absolutely, and that's the question
Position slash
for,
contract, and, so do we want to continue to remove from RAZA? Or do we want to figure out what really should be happening with this position as a whole?
That gets negotiated,
I think we have.
right? But, fine, we're good. Let's
Okay,
go, yeah.
all right.
Let's go ahead with the, I just asked the question for clarification for the record, that's it. Thank you. Okay. All right.
no problem. Just for the record, it was motion by
Kennard,
Kennard, supported
supported
by
by
McCarthy. Roll call.
Yes.
McCarthy,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes,
Piles,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Laster,
Yes.
Wester, motion is approved, yes.
Madam President, move that the Board of Education approves.
Let's just, can I,
Oh,
Marisha
who's that
Ovi.
person?
You should.
Really? No, she should not be
No,
nervous.
she shouldn't.
We welcome you with open arms, and you should not be worried.
Right. You
Right.
should not be worried. Okay.
All right, Madam President, move that the Board of Education approve Daniel Johnson as Junior Systems Administrator for the 2024-2025 school year. Rationale, the role of a junior systems administrator is critical to the effective operation of the district's technology infrastructure. As technology continues to play an increasingly essential role in education, this position will ensure the reliability, security, and efficiency of the district's IT systems, directly supporting staff, students, and administrative functions. Dan will also work closely with senior IT staff to maintain network and server systems, troubleshoot technical issues, and support educational technology, ensuring a reliable, secure, and accessible digital experience for staff, students, and administrators. Budget implications, account 11284-1510-001, 0000000, with a salary at a rate of $58,000. Exhibit C attached.
Support.
It's been motioned by Davis, supported by Wester. Any discussion?
Yes, I have a question, Madam President. At the last meeting, we agreed to change titles for, I believe it was 2 individuals in this department. And we were told they would not be replaced. Are these new positions that are being created? Are these replacement individuals? What,
We're stepping into the, but let me not, I'm not.
these are the individuals that are stepping in? Okay, so these are the individuals that are changing their positions?
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't, I thought last week it was all one fell swoop. They were just going to change.
Oh,
I didn't
no,
know.
I wanted to
Okay.
bring it back before the board because these are
With individual names,
Yeah,
okay,
individual
and
names,
then-
individual contracts.
Okay, and normally, the budget number, the general ledger number, tells us what account that's associated to. Are these general funds?
These are general funds, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Roll call?
Davis,
Yes.
Wester's, yes. Laster,
Yes.
Kennard,
Yes.
McCarthy,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Piles,
Yes.
motion passed.
Dan is currently here.
Okay, okay.
It looks familiar.
Yeah, you look very familiar.
We fixed our microphones at the.
Oh, one else.
Right.
Is that the next one?
Yes.
Yes. Congratulations to you. And congratulations as well.
Recommended motion, the Board of Education, move that the Board of Education hires Morgan Pulowski, all right, as IT Security Analyst for the 24-25 school year. The IT Security Analyst 1 position is a vital step in safeguarding the district's technology infrastructure, data, and operations. As cybersecurity threats grow, increasingly sophisticated and educational institutions become prime targets. This role ensures the district's systems remain secure, compliant, and resilient. Working under the guidance of the Director of Technology or IT Security Manager, Morgan, the IT Security Analyst 1, assists in implementing, monitoring, and maintaining security controls, as well as responding to the security incidents to protect staff, students, and district resources. Budget implications is general fund and salary rate of $55,000.
Support.
It's been motioned by Wester, supported by Kennard. Any discussion? Roll call?
Wester is yes. Kennard,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Laster,
Yes.
Piles,
Yes.
McCarthy.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Welcome. Yeah. All right, last one, then students. Madam President and Board, we have another action item. Personnel recommendation approval of Simone Miller for Dean of Students. Move that the Board of Education approves Simona Miller as the Dean of Students for the 24-25 school year. Our rationale, the role of the Dean of Students is critical to fostering a safe, inclusive, and supportive education environment that promotes academic achievement, student well-being, and personal development. As our district seeks to enhance its commitment to student success, hiring Simone Miller, Dean of Students for the middle school and high school, will address growing demands related to student discipline, engagement, and support. This is general fund dollars, number 111251290 036 6010, with a base salary of $80K. Exhibits are in our board package as attached.
Support.
It's been motioned by Kennard, supported by Davis. Any discussion?
Madam President, what is the general ledger number associated to? What fund?
That's general fund.
General fund was something different before. It's not the same number?
Are you saying the general fund number is
It's
different?
different than this one, yeah. So the budget implications, what account number is this associated? It's associated to 1290-036.
Is our finance person?
Well, it needs to be general fund because I don't think that you can fund a dean of students outside of that. So I don't know what was there because I don't know the codes, just so you know, that's not my wheelhouse there, the codes.
We have multiple accounts. We can get that back.
Right.
We can get that back to you. We have a finance meeting tomorrow, so we can get that information back to her.
All right, very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Kennard,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Piles,
Yes.
McCarthy,
Yes.
Evans,
Yes,
Wester is yes, Laster.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
All right, we are at,
Miss Simona Miller.
oh,
Is she here? She's not here, but, right, but we still.
So I'd like to take this opportunity again, just to thank the Board of Education. I know it's the end of the year. I didn't get to say it last time, but just supporting the recommendations that are in front of you. You have been pretty judicious in asking about accounts and account codes and things like that. Sometimes it may appear on my end like sometimes just the human nature I could maybe present as annoyed. I hope not at the table. I hope not at the table. But you know what? We're in good shape, and you saw that with our audit and things that we're doing. We're definitely, we've made great strides. But I want to thank you for allowing us to be creative. We've had Mark Graham, who makes certain that when we can use grant dollars, we use grant dollars first, and then we'll go to general fund when it's positions like this, Dean of Students. Or if we come to you for something else, that, I mean, they're always in the best interest of our kids. We're not going to just come and just create more jobs. It's because we have great needs in this district, whether you know it or not. Even if you have 2,100, you're like, oh, you only have 2,100, and so does the next school district. I mean, your populations that you serve are way different. We have to understand our population. I understand our population. I'm going to make certain that we try to be creative in some of the jobs that we present, but also we create jobs that make sense. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank Adam for his vision with technology. I mean, that's not my vision. I don't have that expertise. So I want to thank you in making the two people that are here in our technology department right. It's long overdue. You both have been here, Dan, particularly you. You have been very dedicated to our district, and I want to thank you on behalf of our entire district. Despite your pay at that point, you're very, very dedicated to our district. So I thank you, Morgan. I want to welcome you. I want to look at Miss Obi and say thank you, and to the board, too. It's about time that we have just, it's long overdue, all the stuff that we've been through in the last year and a half with that position. I'm sure that you're going to work with Coach P over here, the other athletic director in a different county, because I'm hoping that we can bring the annual East Point versus Romulus something to our school district. I want to say to you two ladies, as African-American females, I couldn't be more proud of you, and I mean that. That's a tough position that you know it's hard to get. It's hard to get that position, but I'll say this, once it's yours, you hold on to it. Okay, you hold on to it, and I hope that the two of you can be peers and support one another in those roles. And to Ms. Henderson, I want to thank you for coming along and working with Dr. Gardner. I think you'll be a perfect complement to her and to the team. Your enthusiasm is infectious. You know, usually I'm the one that comes in all amped up at the same time you do, but I'm like, you need to tone it down a little bit. Just If that's what I come in, if I come in like that, I understand everybody. I apologize. But want to certainly thank you and welcome you to the district as well. So thank you to the Board of Education for allowing us to have these new positions and move our district forward. So I'll turn it over to the president now.
Well, you stole my thunder. I just want to welcome all the employees. Thank you. We appreciate you, and I do have an action item under my report.
Madam President, Board Resolution to censure Trustee Debbie Piles. A special meeting of the Romulus Community Schools Board of Education was held at 36540 Grant Road, Romulus, Michigan, 48174, on the 16th day of December 2024 at 6 p.m. The meeting was called to order by President Laster, with all members present. The following preamble and resolution were offered by Member Davis and supported by Member soon-to-be. Whereas the Board of Education has recently reviewed the results of an internal attorney-client privilege investigation regarding the conduct of members of the board, and whereas believes it necessary to take decisive steps to ensure accountability and reinforce trust within our district, and whereas the board is committed to our mission of serving the best interests of our students, staff, and community, and whereas we understand that questions and concerns relative to board members' ethics relative to reimbursements and payment have been expressed to the board by the Romulus community, and we believe decisive action is necessary for our community's continued trust and support as we move forward together to serve the best interests of our district. And whereas Board Bylaw 1001 states that each board member will acknowledge and sign a code of ethics. And whereas Board Bylaw 1001 provides that as a member of the board, I will promote the best interests of the school district as a whole and will adhere to the following ethical standards and principles. And whereas Board Bylaw 1001 provides that in addition to compensation for meeting attendance, board members will be reimbursed for actual and necessary expenses incurred in the discharge of their official duties, as well as for attending board-approved activities and functions. Board members are expected to exercise good judgment and ensure that expenditures incurred are reasonable, necessary, and in the best interest of the school district. Board members will not be reimbursed for entertainment expenses or the purchase of alcoholic beverages. And whereas, following the attorney-client privilege report, this board has determined that Trustee Piles acted inconsistently with board policy. And whereas the board has concluded that Trustee Piles' conduct towards the district, board, and the entire school community failed to meet the professional standards for an elected representative or the minimum standards expected of any district employee or trustee, and violated district policies and board bylaws, including Board Bylaws 1001, and whereas Board Bylaw 1001 states that by a majority vote, the board may censure an individual board member or members for violating federal or Michigan law, these bylaws, or board policy, or otherwise acting in a manner inconsistent with the office of a board member. And whereas censure by the board is a collective judgment of stern condemnation of one of its members for behaviors or actions that violate laws or policies, it is also a formal public act of disapproval of a member's unacceptable conduct. Now, therefore, be it resolved that 1, that this board does hereby censure, disavow, and formally express its disapproval of Trustee Piles' conduct described above. 2, that the board does hereby direct Trustee Piles to properly perform her duties as a board member and comply with all applicable laws, board policies, regulations, and bylaws. 3, that the board does hereby restrict Trustee Piles' ability from being a member of any board committees during the period of censure. 4, that the board does hereby prohibit Trustee Piles from officially representing the board at external events during the period of censure. 5, that the board does hereby limit Trustee Piles from attending any classes or conference to be paid for by the board during the period of censure unless that class is being provided to the entire board. 6, that the board does hereby require that any reimbursement of expenses to Trustee Piles be submitted to the board president unless the reimbursement is approved in advance by a majority of the board. 7, that the board does hereby direct that this censure and the conditions of the censure against Trustee Piles shall be in effect no earlier than June 30th, 2026. And 8, that trustee Piles completes additional ethics training approved and paid for by the board. If said ethics training is not completed by June 30th, 2026, the terms of this censure may be extended until completion.
Support.
It's been motioned by Davis, supported by Wester. Roll call, I'm sorry, any discussion, I apologize.
I have a question, Madam President.
Yes.
The ethics training, has that been selected and determined? Is that through MASB or another organization?
The ethics training has not been selected and will be agreed upon as a board.
Okay. And when will that be decided? I'm asking because I do want to get this training done.
We'll get it to you in the new year coming, but it will be soon. It will be sooner than later.
And I would like to say something, if I may.
Absolutely.
Eve, you may have my paper in there. I don't know. Did it come up? I don't know. Oh, I thought I took it out. It's all right. I may or may not have power. Oh, you're right, Ursula. I didn't take it out.
You need a cord?
No, I've got it. Thank you. When board members attend training, the district provides reimbursement for travel expenses, including mileage. After receiving authorization from the finance directors, I opted to fly to some conferences as opposed to driving. I made this decision for personal safety reasons, even though the cost I incurred each time exceeded the amount I was reimbursed. I do not receive free or discounted flights. I never hid that I'd booked a flight, nor did I ever deceive anyone regarding my mode of transportation. Rather, I readily shared the information with board members at RCS and those in other districts who were considering flying as opposed to driving. Because my expense and mileage reimbursements were always approved by the executive administrative assistant, finance director, accounts payable, and ultimately by the Board of Education, I believed this allowable. Unfortunately, I learned otherwise after the fact. For this, I am genuinely sorry and apologize to my board colleagues, the superintendent, district staff, students, families, and citizens of Romulus. Furthermore, I look forward to reviewing my expense reports with the Director of Finance and will return to the district the sum of mileage reimbursements paid to me when I flew, approximately $800. Since 2017, I have served the teachers, families, and students of Romulus schools with honor and integrity. I have learned a great deal from this experience, and I will continue to serve as a trustee of the Romulus Community Schools Board of Education with authenticity, transparency, and the unwavering devotion I've demonstrated for the past 8 years, and also with a deep gratitude to the citizens of Romulus who support and elected me for this tremendous privilege of serving our district. Thank you.
Thank you. Roll call?
Davis,
Yes.
Kennard,
Yes.
pardon me? I'm sorry, I didn't hear, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Evans,
Yes.
Lester is yes. McCarthy?
Yes.
Piles?
No.
Laster?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Is it the rest of it?
Pass and adopted.
No, just passing it down. We just have to sign. It was supported.
It was supported by. All right. Motion to adjourn?
Support.
Read the last paragraph.
That's,
The last paragraph.
okay. Rewind.
Ursula probably needs.
Passed and adopted by the Romulus Community School Board of Education at the special meeting held on December 16th, 2024, by the following vote. For the yeas, we have Davis, Kennard, Evans, Wester, McCarthy, and Laster. Nays was Piles. Motion is approved. The undersigned duly qualified and acting board secretary certified that the foregoing constitutes a true and complete copy of a resolution adopted by said board at a special meeting held December 16, 2024. The original of which part of the board's minutes. The undersigned further certified that the notice of the meeting was given to the public pursuant to the provisions of the Open Meetings Act, which is Act 267, PA 167 as amended. Duly, Ursula Ruster, Board Secretary.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Motion to adjourn?
Support.
Support.
And motion by.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
It was motion by Davis, supported by Evans.
Okay.
And it's 6:43.